If you thought the Jay-Z and Beyoncé saga was over, you better think again, because 50 Cent just jumped into the mix and he's got some hot takes that flip the whole narrative upside down. You know how fans have been dragging Jay-Z, claiming he's a manipulator pushing Beyoncé into some shady stuff. Well, 50's here to spill the tea, saying, "We've got it all twisted. Not only is Beyoncé just as messy as Jay-Z, but he's suggesting she might even be worse, and he came with receipts." And get this, 50 also claims that not only was Beyoncé Edley involved in Diddy's freak-offs, but she is trying to make Jay-Z take the blame for their drama by setting him up for failure and throwing him under the bus. When it all hits the fan, chilly, there's a lot to unpack here, because 50's revelations are shocking to say the least. Grab a seat, because this Hollywood drama is reaching new heights, especially when it comes to Jay-Z and Beyoncé. If you've been living under a rock, let me fill you in. There are rumors that Beyoncé is seriously considering packing her bags and divorcing Jay-Z. This situation has been brewing for a minute, and for a while thought Beyoncé was ready to leave because she was fed up with Jay's alleged manipulation. There have been a lot of reports about how Jay-Z isn't exactly the poster child for a good guy with a history of shady business and questionable activities. Behind the scenes, I won't get into all the messy details of his accusations. I'm sure you've heard the reports by now. For a long time, people saw Beyoncé as just another one of his victims, especially given her almost perfect ID public image and the fact that she was so young when they first got together. Beyoncé talked about this in an interview, saying, "I was 18 when we first met. At 19, we started dating. There was no rush. No one expected me to run off and get married." They officially started dating when Beyoncé was 19 and Jay-Z was 31, which is a very noticeable age gap. But it's even worse than that, because in a 2007 Charlie Rose interview, Jay-Z said he'd met Bey 10 years ago, or in 1997, if they met in 1997, and Beyoncé was only 16 when they met. In fact, depending on when they met, she could have been 15 for all we know. The thought of Jay-Z, who was in his late 20s, 27 or 28, at the time pursuing a 16-year-old Beyoncé, was just shady to say the very least. Because of all this, people tend to view Beyoncé as the victim, often leaving her out of the conversation when Jay-Z gets dragged for his shady antics. Even when the couple is under fire for supposedly blackballing other artists in the industry, the focus usually shifts to Jay-Z and his alleged misuse of power, while Beyoncé escapes the spotlight because, well, she's the media's darling. But 50 Cent is here to shake things up and isn't letting this narrative slide any longer. He's ready to drop some insider information. And let's say that his thoughts on Beyoncé aren't exactly flattering. When blogger Storm Monroe first shared the news of the divorce a couple of months back, everyone was rallying behind Beyoncé, praising her for taking a stand and leaving Jay-Z for good. But now with 50 Cent's comments, it looks like we might have been wrong all along.
What I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they live in separate. And part of the reason why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood, is because Jay-Z's up next to being exposed. And it's only so much of these stories that Jay-Z, he can pay off, he can block. He won't be able to stop this. And she knows it, and he knows it too. As far as who's gonna be the breakout victim / story, I don't know. I might have to say this. I don't know. But I'm just letting you know that once that comes out and Diddy is exposed for his nefarious past, you're gonna see this. Okay? And she may or may not do an interview, but she may their publicist is gonna release something. It's gonna say, "Oh, the party was time."
And fans were living for the idea of Beyoncé leaving Jay-Z, especially since Storm hinted that Jay was about to get exposed big time. And I'm not talking about a little bit of gossip here. I mean something huge, like Diddy-level exposure for some wild things.
Patient. He's not sloppy. Just even lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 years.
You know what they say, birds of a feather flock together, and it looks like that might just be the case with Jay-Z and Diddy. The streets are saying that Jayz might be just as shady as Diddy, and considering all the allegations against Diddy, folks were low-key relieved to hear Beyoncé was thinking about divorce on top of that whole age gap thing. Let's not forget that jayz has cheated on Beyoncé multiple times over the years. I'm not just talking about that infamous Becky with the good hair drama. He's been cheating since the very beginning of their relationship. Reports say jayz started cheating just a few months after they got together, and one of the first names that popped up was singer Charli Baltimore. If you've been following this mess, you probably caught the rumors about their affair happening right under Beyoncé's nose. For those who might not be up to speed, Charli Baltimore used to date the legendary Notorious B.I.G., aka Biggie Smalls, back in the day. Reports say she eventually got tired of being the other woman while Jay-Z flaunted his relationship with Beyoncé, so she decided to cut things off with him. But Jay-Z didn't handle that well at all. He got jealous when Charli moved on to another man, so jealous that he risked going to jail. Remember when he was arrested foreigning a guy at a club? He'd a producer claiming the man was illegally distributing bootleg copies of his album Volume 3 Life and Times of S. Carter. They met at a club and Jay pulled an 8 and knife and went for it. However, insiders including 50 Cent are calling BS on that whole story. 50 Cent claimed that the real reason for was that Jay-Z found out Charli was dating the producer, and he couldn't handle it, like getting mad at your former side piece for moving on while you're dating Beyoncé. That's next level petty, and 50 Cent isn't alone in this. Rapper Cameron backed him up, confirming that the stabbing was all about Charli.
It wasn't over no money. It wasn't over being righteous. What was it over? A chick? What we don't do is we don't fuck with our homies ex-victim. Wow. You feel me? You know who that is now. It's about Charli Baltimore. There you go.
He's stepping back into the spotlight to weigh in on the whole divorce situation. And let's just say he's not exactly riding for Beyoncé. He's claiming that she's the real villain that everyone thinks Jay-Z is. For those who might not know, 50 Cent and Jay-Z have had a long-standing beef, and Beyoncé got pulled into it when she stepped up to defend her man. Now let me give you some backstory as to how this beef started in the first place. The tension between Jay-Z and 50 started in the day when 50 dissed Jay-Z in his 1999 hit How to Rob. People have always speculated that he did it for clout, especially since Jay was already a major player in the game while 50 was still on the rise. The track was actually 50 Cent's first big hit, and it created quite a stir. To be fair, Jay-Z wasn't the only target in 50 Cent's How to Rob. He went in on a whole lineup of top artists, including Lil Kim, Foxy Brown, Diddy, Missy Elliott, Will Smith, and a bunch of others from that era. In his disc about Jay, 50 rapped what Giga just sold like 4 milli. He got something to live for. Don't want a man putting 4 through that Bentley coupe door. A lot of the artists who got called out fired back with their own responses, but Jay-Z is known for holding grudges, which is why the beef between him and 50 has dragged on for so long. Eventually, Jay-Z clapped back with his own diss track titled It's Hot, Some Like It Hot, where he famously said, "Go against your dents. I'm about $1 with the fizz." 50 Cent's 50 Cent eventually admitted that he was chasing clout when he dissed Jay-Z and the other rappers. And in an interview with Rolling Stone, 50 Cent said when he responded, "I was complimented," he wouldn't say nothing back to somebody he didn't think was hot. "I never went to radio until after he said that about me. I don't know if my career would be where it's at if he didn't respond anyway." Back to the beef with Jay-Z, 50 admitted that the reason he had a problem with Jay-Z was that Jay-Z felt like he was the greatest. In another interview, he said he has a king complex. He thinks he's effing Jesus. "You know what I mean? This Jehovah is I'm just watching him." He said something one time, "I didn't like those little things, subliminal things. For me, that's the punk way to do things." Jay-Z tried to deny the rumors of the beef, saying that he and 50 were fine, but 50 was not about to let this narrative fly, and he was quick to come out and deny that he and Jay-Z were on good terms. He also claimed that they will never be friends, saying, "We don't have those kinds of relationships. These people are people I associate with. We are in the same business. We are not necessarily friends. We don't call each other for no reason." Well, as it turned out, Beyoncé was not a fan of 50 Cent constantly throwing digs at her man, even though she and Jay-Z had not started dating when his beef with 50 Cent started. She still took Jay-Z's side, and things got so messy that 50 Cent revealed that she even tried to fight him. And I'm like, "Wait, what is you doing that, Stu? That's me and Jay's Stu. Do got nothing to do with you." Of course, 50 Cent, being 50 Cent, could not resist making a joke out of the situation. "LGE wasn't there yet. UL was there. I would have had to reboot." The thought of Beyoncé wanting to fight 50 Cent over Jay-Z is pretty wild, I'm not going to lie, but it kind of explains why 50 is one of the few who sees her for who she really is, and why he believes she's not the victim everyone thinks she is. Not only does 50 believe she's not a victim, but he also argues that she might be worse than Jay-Z, suggesting that she's the mastermind behind many of the accusations against him allegedly. And remember when her former bodyguard talked about her and Jay-Z supposedly blackballing Carrie Hilson's career.
Beyoncé and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them. Okay, I get the threats, but you have to remember one thing. I know your deepest secrets. I know so much about you and what you've done. I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people. Beyoncé, how you guys ended Carrie Hilson's career because she said something about you. That's how hateful you guys are. How you step on anything to stay.
For some reason, Jay-Z ended up catching all the smoke for that, and for some reason, Beyonce was left out of the conversation. The bodyguard also claimed that Beyonce and Jay-Z's marriage was nothing but a business merger.
Relationship was a business relationship, financial, to get to the top, to become billionaires. There's no love there. See, what's done in the dark will definitely come in the light. Keep your threats up.
This part isn't exactly shocking considering you've probably heard all those rumors about how Jay-Z and Beyoncé's relationship is more about business than love, but according to 50 Cent, there's a lot more going on because he claims Beyoncé has been sneaky for a long time. He pointed out the situation with Beyoncé's former drummer who accused her of some shady behavior. After that, the drummer was mysteriously silenced when she tried to expose Beyoncé and reveal what she's really like behind the scenes. According to the drummer, whose name is Kimberly Thompson, Beyoncé allegedly dabbles in the occult. She spoke to the Daily Beast, and the interviewer said she claims that for some reason Beyoncé has started a campaign of harassment against her that includes extreme witchcraft, dark magic, and magic spells. She also claims the Lemonade star murdered her kitten. Thompson believes Beyoncé has been tapping her phones and controlling her finances. It's unclear why Thompson believes the singer is allegedly doing all this to her, but she is adamant it all stems from Bay. Kimberly also went live on Instagram to speak on Beyoncé. At first, people thought the former drummer was just seeking attention and trying to use Beyoncé for clout, so her claims didn't receive much attention. But once she went as far as filing a restraining order against Beyoncé, that's when people started to take notice and question whether there was any truth to her allegations, and 50 Cent is definitely among those who are paying attention. But hold up, there's even more drama. You know how I said Jay-Z has been unfaithful to Beyoncé for years? While she just seems to tolerate. Thing I love about 50 is he tells the truth when exposing someone. They never sue him. Think about it. Yeah, this situation is a hot mess, and 50 is being super bold by spilling this tea, because y'all know that Beyoncé and Jay-Z don't like it when people speak about them. But let me know how you feel about this situation, and then check out this next video, and thanks for watching my video.